after our house Mondays. It's Tuesday. I chose a very, very interesting topic today. And please, I ask you to be honest. Do you have any fears out there? Are you a fearful person? Do you buy into fear? We're going to cover 4 powerful fears, my friends, and they are rejection. Number 2, ruin. Number 3, regret. And number 4, responsibility. And I'm going to show you how you can move through them. This could be in your personal life. This could be in your business life. These could be things that are holding you back. These are possible fears of not wanting to grow your rideshare business, your gig business, taking on that next step, right? We build up all those fears that hold us back. I have faced these fears. I have worked through these fears. I've been extremely fearful in certain situations. But what I've learned out of those incidences, out of those mistakes, is that as long as there is a tomorrow, as long as there is a tomorrow, you don't have to have any fears. Because if you're worried, you think the things are going to go wrong today or the next, you can always rectify these fears. You can always change them, and you can learn and you can grow. As long as you're learning, you will never, ever fear anything. Learning means acquiring, taking in knowledge, changing things, right? Maybe things that went wrong, so that they combat your fears and set you on the path of your destiny. I want to acknowledge DG. I want to acknowledge William Connor. I want to acknowledge Sherelle. I want to acknowledge Arthur. I want to acknowledge Alex. My friends, I have been through this. I also have done 2 years, my master's in spiritual psychology, specializing in psychology. Many a times I asked myself, what's holding me back? What's not getting me to my true potential? And you have permission to be honest in this room. You have permission to share. We have permission to interact, right? Doesn't make us weaker or stronger by sharing with others in front of others what our fears are. Now, the number 1, numero uno fear is rejection. If I go and do this, what will they think? Will they reject me? Won't they accept me? Right? So you might be grinding away at your job, right? And you want to do a part-time job. You want to go out there, become an Uber driver, thinking about you researching a Camry, you researching a Prius, you researching an Excel. And all of these thoughts go through your head. If I do this, if I commit to rideshare, what will my wife think of me? What will my neighbors think of me as I head out there on a Friday, Saturday night? Will they think less of me? Will they reject me, right, if I take this step? It always takes a bold person to take a step, and you usually take the step when you overcome these fears, right? David Hunt in the house, Sir Irwin in the house, right? William Connor says there's definitely been more stress in my life with COVID going on. Good. I'm glad you're sharing that. So that is a real fear, right? That fear results in stress. That stress holds us back. That stress freezes us up, right? You can relate to that feeling, William Connor. JT says, hi, Professor, I'm seeing 33% deduction of my earnings here in New Jersey from Uber rideshare and Uber Eats. This sucks big time. Yes, it does. And I'm going to show you how you're going to overcome that, JT, with this topic. This is a hot topic, my friend. So the biggest thing with rejection, right? Are you one of those type of people that tries to please everyone? Like you try to please everyone. You try to make everything right for your wife, for your girlfriend, for your friends, for your neighbors, right? Because you are fearful that you will be rejected. If I don't do this, what will they think? So you keep on doing it. You keep on doing it. You please them. You please them, right? You want to please everyone. It's not what this is about, right? You got to be able to say no, right? You got to be able to stand up against some resistance. Hey, dear wife, when I have dinner here, I'm thinking of getting into rideshare. I'm thinking of doing delivery as a part-time job, right? To earn some extra money. Boom, avalanche of negatives. Oh, it's too dangerous. You can't go out there. And, you know, she might be fearful that she's going to lose you because you're going to meet someone in the car. All of these fears come out in her holding you back, right? Making you feel rejected. Oh my God, yeah, she's right. I cannot do this. No, you got to be able to say, no, listen to me, wife. Listen to me, my friend. This is why I want to do it. I've done my research. There are great ways to improve and improve my earnings, starting off here and building up with very little risk. Hear me out. Sell them on your story. Stand up, right, to all of these rejections that will be coming your way from your peers, from your family, from your wife, from your loved one. Sell it. Stand up for yourself and say, no, I want you to hear me out. Don't just go please and please and please. Yes, amen, I'll do that. Yes, okay, case closed. You had this idea. You had this idea like Scott Tucker to start his own company, right? You have these dreams. You have these ambitions. My friends, I urge you, I beg you, never, ever let your fears hold you back, right? I had fears creeping in at age 11, 12 when I saw the other 16, 17-year-olds deliver newspapers, right? And I said, I want to do that. The money is good. I can see they're having a bicycle. They're buying themselves a motorbike. I want to do this. And my fear was, wow, what if I, as the little 11-year-old, started cycling around delivering newspapers? What would my parents think? What would my peers think? What would those elderly kids think of me, right? I overcame those fears, started making money, more money, learned how to incentivize myself, and I broke, honestly, through all of those fears, right? So you got to be able to say no. Number two, a big one, a very, very big one. Scotland's in the house. Much love to you, Danny Morgan. I appreciate you. Together we'll fight and win. I love your spirit. A true Scottish fighter instinct. Bring it here, Braveheart. Bring it over to the United States, Scotland. Thank you. We love you. Great rugby players, by the way. So ruin. What do we think of when we speak of ruin, right? What we think of is all the negative consequences, right? So, okay, I've overcome rejection. I'm going to start this. But oh my God, my brain starts running wild. All of these things are going to go wrong. If I buy this car for $15,000, if I upgrade to an XL, oh my God, I'm going to build myself a big financial hole. I'm going to dig myself into this hole. Your mindset is already just moving in ruin. You're looking for all the negatives, right? I'm telling you, if your mindset can change to learning, hey, I'm going to go from X to XL. I'm going to go from XL, start my own private limo business, right? I understand, I'm taking on a financial burden, but I'm willing to learn. My mindset is learning. Every day I make a mistake, I'm going to rectify it, I'm going to build it, versus staying in the mindset of ruin. Oh, if I start a limo company, if I go out and buy that Suburban, it's going to set me back. It's going to set my family back, and boom, and all these negative thoughts, and you put it off, and you put it off. No, you got to go in with the attitude, right, that as long as there is a tomorrow, even if you F up today, even if you lose $5,000 today, you can always rectify that tomorrow. You can always rectify that in a week, in a month from now, because you're open, you're willing to learn, you're willing to work with your mistakes, better them, improve them, find out why they were wrong. So as long as we're in the mindset of learning, we will never, ever face ruin. As long as there isn't a tomorrow, there will never, ever be financial ruin. How many people have you heard of that have had setbacks, that have gone into the negative, and they've worked with those setbacks, because they have days and weeks in front of them to correct the mistakes, and they come out stronger, maybe the second or third time. I'm one of those people. I have fallen so hard in life, right? One night, I did one big concert. I think I lost over $1 million in one night. And I sat there on the side of the road, 6 o'clock in the morning. I was so depressed, right? I was so depressed. And then I went back to what I know, and that is I don't buy into fear. I've staged such great concerts. What did I do wrong? How did I screw up? I need to learn more. I need to drum up more sponsors. I need to change things. And I came back. And the following year, in 1994, I did an event in Cape Town called Rave City, where I rented out all the shipping docks, and I made over $2 million in one night. That was 1 year later, after facing one of my biggest fears, because I never gave up. I kept on learning, improving my game. How can I apply more marketing? What can I do? How can I strategize? How can I get more sponsors? As long as there was a tomorrow, as long as I, Torsten, was moving in the mindset of learning, I was growing. And the fear of ruin could not hold me back, right? So you got to break out of that thought process that, oh my God, if I do this, if I commit to this car, if I convince my car and my wife that I'm going to upgrade from a Prius to a minivan, when the earnings are going to go up, or maybe into Suburban and invest into my limo company and put the money aside, that I will not put myself and my family in ruin. I'm going to learn, I'm going to grow, and as long as there's a tomorrow, I'm going to make this limo company work. I am going to make this Excel company work, because there are so many good videos out there by all the YouTubers, by Dustin, by Dave, by Kevin, by Torsten, by Simple Driver, by Harry the Rideshare Guy, even by Jay Credeau. Tons and tons of great videos that will help me. As long as I'm learning and open, I'm going to move my business forward and take that next step. I'm appealing to many of the people that are stuck in that hamster wheel of the UberX rut. Yes, that is the car that you could afford. Yes, you are thinking of upgrading. Yes, you're even thinking of starting your own limo company, but something is holding you back. And usually it's either the fear of rejection or that I'm going to go into financial ruin. I will be there for you if you run into those hurdles. You'll always have a phone number. You'll always have a line open to me that you can get over those hurdles. Now, the third biggest one, regret, right? Regret. So you go in, you buy this XL vehicle, you buy this Suburban vehicle, and you go out and get your limo license, and now come all the regrets. Oh my God, I regret I did this. I regret that I spent the $1,200 on that license. I regret that I spent the extra $10,000 on the car upgrading. I regret that my insurance costs are so high. Oh my God. And again, you're moving in fear. You're stifling. You can't breathe. There's no oxygen in your lung because you are regretting this decision that you made. You've moved through rejection and ruin, and now you freaking regret that you even did it. I should not have bought that Cadillac, right? And I can tell you, I can use an example, Thomas Gibson, who very positive, always learning, worked through all his fears and said, you know what, I'm going to go out and get that Cadillac and I'm going to succeed. And he's done so damn well, right? He moved these first three fears out of his way. The fear of rejection, the fear of ruin, and the fear of regret. Thomas never regretted it, buying that Cadillac. He went out, just like Paul Figueroa, who didn't regret buying that XL. He went out and learned the ropes and knew there was a tomorrow. And even if I have a tiny little setback today, I will correct it and make more money tomorrow. I acknowledge all the new people that have come into the room. If we have a negative, we can always flip it into a positive, right? If you buy a little bit of a rundown house, you can always flip it into a beautiful house with some makeup, some cosmetics, some paint, some landscaping. You learn, you grow, you make money. You can always turn a shitty property into an excellent sellable property. you can always flip your negative thought process and head off into a positive direction, right? There is no reason, if you are doing positive things, you will never ever have regrets, right? If you are learning, you will never ever have regrets. If you are one of those type of people that dwells in the field of guilt, oh my God, I feel so guilty, I regret doing this, right? Forgive yourself. Hey, I did this. I took this upon myself. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to flip this into a positive. The learning mindset, my friend, gets rid of all the fears, right? That's why the people that go out there that want to take that next step, they learn about Excel. They read everything. They study the car prices. They study the gas prices, right? You're preparing yourself mentally to make more money. The next step up, you're preparing yourself to get that Suburban or that Cadillac, to start your own limo company and grow it. Right? I've grown it into a massive, massive enterprise because I never, ever let those fears hold me back. Right? Always willing to learn. Yes, I had to pay educational dollars on the way, but I kept on improving and improving and improving my formula. The same formula I have taught to hundreds of fleet owners around the United States, right? One of the discussions that I have with them, let's talk about your fears. I could say, Scott, let's talk about your fears. Now, I know that Scott broke out of his fears. He took action. He started a company, right? So you can push through those fears, my friends. IQ Boy, sorry I missed Monday live stream, but late happy birthday. Great, yeah. 52-year strong, not 25, unfortunately. I wish I could switch the numbers. Mohammed Khalil, greetings, Prof. Great topic. Best thing I did was getting in GMC, where I did drive in XXL and Select. You see, so Mohammed decided to take that next step, right? And because he's open, because he's smart, because he jumps into rooms and shares and acquires knowledge, he's growing and growing and growing his business. Fear will never hold Mohammed Khalil back. It's not in his DNA. He's already pushed through those first three that I've been talking about. And I'm extremely proud of you for taking that step, right? Because when someone mentions Excel on the screen, I can see they have come from X to Excel, and they've gone through their fears, and they've taken a little bit of a risk, and they're growing, and they know there's a tomorrow where they can always improve their game. When you face regrets, always appreciate the now. The now is, I can do something now. I can really do something about the situation now. And as long as I move in the mindset of learning, acquiring knowledge, it will completely get rid and annihilate that fear. Numero 4, numero 4, numero 4, numero 4, right? Number 4. What do you think it is? Responsibility. Shit, if I do all of this, oh my God, I have all these extra responsibilities. Or hey, employer, by the way, I see you managing 5 people. You know what? I think you're capable of managing another 10 more. I think you're capable of managing 15 people, says your boss. Oh my God, all this extra responsibility. I manage 5 people. He wants me to manage 15. Oh my God, my responsibilities have gone up. My fears are going up, right? What's holding us back is the fear of our full power, of your full power. That's what's holding you back if you feel like, oh my God, I've taken on too much responsibility. This is going to bring me down. This is going to ruin me. Right? No. You have to move out of that fear and take on your full power. I can step up to this. I can do this. I can run an Excel business. I can run a limousine business. I can make this work. And how I make this work is I've got good people around me. I can always reach out to a consultant. I can get feedback. I can do research. I can go on Google. I can watch videos. I can do this, right? The people are showing me their formula. I can do this. I can take on this responsibility of switching from X to Excel. I can take on this responsibility of buying myself a beautiful Cadillac or Suburban, as Thomas Gibson did, because he knew He wanted to take on that responsibility, the responsibility of higher paying clients, the responsibility of, going beyond just driving around students, but now suddenly driving around CEOs. Not, oh my God, what are they going to think about me, these CEOs? Will they reject me? Will these NBA players reject me? Will these actors reject me? No, I'm standing in my power. I'm taking full responsibility that I can drive this type of clientele around. I am worthy. I can do it. Right? We tend to ask ourselves, what if I can't do this? What if I can't take on this responsibility? Fears start creeping in. No, I am totally aware of the fears. I can handle them, and I can turn that fear, into a positive. I can flip it into a positive, right? And I will get this done. I will get the paperwork done. I will research the insurance and commit to an insurance. I will file the LLC. I will get my car weighed and then registered as a commercial vehicle. I will do these. I'm not going to fear all of the responsibilities. I want to do this because why? The positives outweigh the negatives. The positives of an XL outweigh the X. The positives of a limo company or being a private driver outweigh the earnings by far that you will ever make in X. And it takes a courageous person like Muhammad. It takes a courageous person like Scott Tucker. It takes a courageous person like Paul Figueroa to take that step. It took a courageous step as a little boy to say, you know what, I'm 11 years old. I can mix it up with these 15 and 16-year-olds. I will go out there and buy a bicycle. I will pay it off, and I'm going to drive a motorbike one day, and I'm going to double my sales, and I'm going to buy myself a car, and I'm going to build, because nothing held this kid back fear-wise. Yes, did I run into situations? Absolutely, that got me down, that I may have thought, okay, I regretted doing this. It could have ruined me, yes. But as long as there was a tomorrow, as long as I was willing to learn, as long as I was willing to change my mindset and flip a negative into a positive, I always moved forward, right? When I broke my leg and foot and ankle 2 weeks ago in 3 places, right? Oh my God, these fears come up. Okay, I've got to keep my company afloat. My company is going to go into ruin. Myself, the CEO, I'm not there. I can't run my other 2 companies. I'm not there for my family. Hold on, Tiger. Hold on, Tiger. You've been here before, right? You've snapped your leg. You have a lot of metal in your foot. You've been here before. This is a matter of time. As long as I have tomorrow, as long as I can get to the 3-month mark, I'll be fine. I'll be running and gunning again, right? So I immediately removed myself from all of those fears because I know what I can do. I know that this situation is not going to get me down. What did I do? I went straight back onto Our House Mondays. I went straight back into making videos. I was straight making, wheeling and dealing, ordering parts, making sure my clients knew. Nothing held me back. Why? Because I learned how to take responsibility in my other previous businesses. So I'm stepping up. I'm informing my clients. Torsten's going to be back. In the meantime, I'm going to get you this guy to substitute in for me. And he is going to take you to Orange County. And this is going to take place. And I can communicate with my other real estate friend. Hey, go out there, look at listings. I cannot go out and look at listings buying another home, but I need you to be active. I can talk to my mortgage broker. Hey, I cannot run around, but I need you to do this and this and this. I'm not holding back, right? I've learned that as long as there's a tomorrow, I've learned that as long as I stay within that learning environment, right, that there cannot be negative consequences. And even if there is a negative setback, I can correct it, right? So you have the power. You have the power to steer your steering wheel into a positive future, into a positive destiny. Rideshare Trickster, hope you're doing well. Love you, brother. I'm getting back. I'm getting my mojo back. My foot is throbbing But we got to stay busy, right? We got to stay active. And as long as your brain is active, and again, as long as you're learning, as long as there's a tomorrow, you don't have to have fears. Go Donnie, come. Go Donnie. Go Donnie, Donnie. Two guys you guys want to definitely go and subscribe to. If you have not subscribed to them already, they're in here back to back. Rideshare Trickster and Go Donnie says, how's it going? Shout out from Mississippi. I send love back to Mississippi. I send love back to Lancaster, where Rideshare Trickster is. I'm thinking about you guys, and we will all move together into the future, into wonderful things are going to happen. None of these four factors will ever, ever hold down Jimmy, will ever, ever hold down Sherelle. I had a lot of back and forth with Jimmy, and Jimmy says, I want to go out there and I want to start my art. I want to do my art. I'm like, Jimmy, what's holding you back, dude? So maybe, if Jimmy's honest, maybe there were some fears that were holding him back, right? But you know what? He worked through those fears. He started developing art. He brought an art piece to Vanessa Bryant. He brought an art piece to me for my wedding. He sold an art piece to Vegas to another, and he is doing, he is learning, he is growing, he is not fearful, he is embracing the future. This is what I love about people that are just willing to go out and do it, right? If you get stuck, folks, have a conversation with me. I will pump you up, trust me. I will get you back on your toes and feet, right? James Campbell, I salute you, my brother. Good afternoon. Nifty 50, how's it going? It's going strong, right? Sorry, not sorry, my friends. I'm not sorry to be here. I'm happy to be here. So there's, Abstract Echo says, there are still fears, but I chewed through the leash, right? Free of the fears. And there will always be little fears. Could be, you could be held back by certain regrets that you've had in your life in the past. You can work on those. But you could be held back by certain guilt that you may still be carrying around. You can work through those fears. But understand that in this video, all I'm trying to teach gig workers, all I'm trying to teach my friends, my subscribers, my extended family out there is that there are ways to overcome these four fears in the gig working world, right? There are ways to break through this and do better. So wherever you're right now, whether you are stuck, look at these four and say to yourself, why am I stuck? Where am I stuck in the thought process here? And what can I do about it based on this video? I really wanted to, you could talk very generally about these four fears. I really wanted to apply these four fears to the gig work industry because I have had countless emails and text messages of people that wanted to take the next step and they were regretting to take the next step because it might ruin their financial future. And we talked about it, we worked through it, and I have people still thanking me from all corners of the United States and abroad, Houston, Massachusetts. Thank you to give me the courage and get through those four fears. I've never regretted it anymore, right? I'm not in financial ruin. I'm doing great. I'm not being rejected by others. I'm being accepted by others. And I truly, truly stepped into my power by taking on that responsibility. In fact, some of the people that I started with their first car have multiple cars in Texas, have multiple cars in Arizona, have multiple cars in Massachusetts. They truly stepped into their responsibility and applied their formula that nothing will get them down as long as there's a tomorrow, as long as they're willing to learn. Plan B, start an eBay business. I'm in the shirt business on eBay is working. There's a lot of money in the shirt business. Just look at Cafe Press, look at $6 t-shirts. Been there, done that. I've been in that business, made a lot of money, sold that. You want to get yourself a good printing t-shirt printing press, the right one, the digital one, and you can make a lot of money, right? Especially if you have people bringing in the designs for you. You could have a website, where you have independent designers. You can facilitate, t-shirt sales have amazing margins. This one here is part of 6 t-shirts that I bought for $6 each, right? So I've got 6 6 t-shirts, sorry, I got 10 t-shirts, which should have been $60. I paid $50 on this t-shirt website, right? This costs pennies to make, right? The profit margins are great. You will see some people selling t-shirts for $20, $25, $30, right? You will see Ruth Bader Ginsburg t-shirts out there selling for $20, $30. People are manufacturing them for $2, $3. There's insane money to be made. As long as you're on top of the design, on top of the times, and you have a great website, a great e-commerce platform, good advertising like GoDonny. GoDonny is going to make a shitload of money with t-shirts, right? And I would go GoDonny. I would play around with your knowledge, which is the 80s. People want to stay connected with the 80s. Get a lot of retro t-shirts out there, right? You know, you'll do well, my brother. I know it. Now, so the one thing that I really want to touch on here briefly, I've got to give the sponsor a huge shout out, right? It's 3 p.m. You know who they are, Cova. I'm getting another sponsor tomorrow, Legal Rideshare, right? And when you start developing these type of networks, right? And as long as you're open to learn, more sponsors come forward. So right now, I'm receiving monies from Cova. Tomorrow, I'll be receiving monies from Legal Rideshare, just like Dustin is, just like Harry is, getting monies, right? I will not take monies from Uber and Lyft. They cannot buy my ass. I will not sell out to them. I represent the drivers. But if I come across a good product that I believe in, I will promote it. If the product does not speak to me, if the plan does not speak to me, I cannot sell it to my people. I'm enrolled in this, right? One of the main reasons I know people get enrolled in this is because it just takes one idiot to do a fraudulent complaint and you're out. And you want a company like Legal Rideshare to send off the letters and say, hang on, not so fast, reinstate my client, right? So I'm not going to go into too much length. All I can say is you're going to get a 1 month free through my link below, right? If you are starting your own YouTube network, reach out to sponsors, sell them sponsorship packages, tell them what your audience is, tell them what your reach is, right? Kevin the Apptrepreneur said to me when he had 6,000, 7,000, oh, I'll never reach 10,000. I said, yes, you will reach 10,000 as long as you're willing and open to learn and increase your portfolio. And I said to Kevin, this is way back, Kevin the Apptrepreneur, you need to increase the topics that you talk about. You need to talk about Instacart, Amazon, Uber, Lyft. You cannot just box yourself into 2 or 3 categories. Your platform, the Apptrepreneur, should incorporate all apps. And I will guarantee you, Kevin, you will be at 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. He did it. He called me up and he said, Torsten, I'm over 10,000. Congratulations, Kevin. I believe in you. No fears held you back. What? He's on 13, 14,000 subscribers now, right? So whether you like him or not, doesn't matter, right? He went out there, he overcame a lot of his own fears and he did it, right? Got to take your hat off, right? That's what I do. You know, you got to take your Oculus hat off and say, Kevin, you did this. Kevin, you actually went out and faced all of those fears, looking into the future. Oh my God, all these fears, the fear of rejection, the fear of ruin. I'm going to regret starting this channel. I, Kevin the Apptrepreneur, I'm going to regret this. Oh my God, it's way too much responsibility. No, Kevin stepped into the responsibility and made it work. And for that, we need to take our hat off, right? So here, I dedicate this to you, Kevin, this segment of the video. I take my hat off to you because you stepped into those fears. Whether you like him or don't like him, he did it. Whether you are a guy that's still thinking of going from Excel to X to Excel, you look at guys like Mohammed, they did it. You look at guys like Paul Figueroa, who committed to $40,000. He did it and made $300,000. You look at guys like Thomas, who moved from Excel into the private sphere and bought a Cadillac, money down, a lot of money down. He did it and never regretted it, right? So I ask you to face your 4 fears. Go back to the beginning of this video. think I've shared a lot of good information. I think I've brought in a lot of my own information as well, that I was vulnerable. I was fearful at times, especially around the age of 11 years old. But man, from 11 to 12, it was such a game changer, because I stepped into my responsibility and I learned, I grew, I learned, I grew. I went out there every day. Even if I had a setback, nothing would set me back as a teenager, in my 20s, and throughout life, right? Nothing will set me back with this broken leg. It's a matter of time. In 6 weeks, I'm back, folks, right? And right now I can make money from my bed, from my home office here. I can make money. Nothing gets us down. So I want you to hit the like button. Disney is laying off 28,000 workers, right? We over 200,000 deaths in the pandemic, a lot of fearful times. But look at the positives. As long as I remain positive, knowing there's a tomorrow, I can make it out of the pandemic. As long as I learn how to stay protected during the pandemic, wearing masks, disinfectants, I can make it out of the fear of the pandemic. I will make it till 2021. I will bounce back. I will make my family proud. Don't let the fear of the pandemic hold you back, right? And as Jimmy said, fear is a false education appearing real. Correct. Now, Gordonicom says, I take my hat off to you. You gave me another great idea. I'm going to start selling cars to Uber and Lyft drivers. Maybe they'll have to not rent anymore. Great. And even with your t-shirt idea, I have a lot of knowledge, a lot of input, the machineries that I use, the websites, the templates that I use to sell them, right? The packaging. It's a lot of money in it. It's a very involved business, right? But there's a lot of money in it. Go and look at, I would ask you to look at $6 t-shirts.com, great one, cafepress.com. Good portals to learn from if you want to go into the t-shirt business. So I'm not going to go too long. I'm in 37 minutes. I want to recharge my batteries here, get some painkillers into the body. Got a whole bunch of Amazon products shipped to me. Again, I can do everything from my bed, right? For example, this is maybe one of the 4 or 5 packages that arrived today, but I want to install a backup camera in my Bel Air, and I can do that through my Kenwood sound system because it has a cord that will allow me to run it to a camera so I can see in the car. Because in these old cars, they're very long old cars, you back up, you have no idea who's behind you. It's like with an RV or a camper, right? I want a really, really good visual in my car. If I'm pulling out, who's behind me? Is there a child running behind my Bel Air? So, I go out and spend the $45 plus the cord, right? Backup camera, power supply, RCA cable. Thank you, Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. Thank you to the Amazon driver that delivered this today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Antonio Kirby says, good to see you, Professor. Good to see you, my brother. Very happy to see you. I hope you're doing well, Antonio. Hope your family's well. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're being creative, right? And maybe if you get a chance, you can go back and look at this video. Gordonicon says, that's what I'm going to do. You read my mind of specializing in retro comic t-shirts, basketball, baseball, football, all retro items. Kobe Bryant shirt that costs $1.12, sold for $70. Thank you. And by the way, Gordoni, the reason why I can relate to that, when I went to the that funeral thing at Kobe Bryant in Staples Center, there were only a certain, I got in there through my clients. I got these special t-shirts that they only were printing, I think, for the 20,000 people in there, right? I kept one each for my kids. I bought like 6 of them. I sold 4 or 5 for over $200. So I hear you. You can make a shitload of money with t-shirts. And Donnie, if I may introduce you to this segment that'll really open up your brain, open up your mind, and give you further creative ideas, my brother, right? You go to the $6 t-shirts. This is a guy, is a friend of mine in LA, right? So they sell them for $6 each, but if you buy 10, you get them for $50, right? All day long. You can't even keep up. But what's very, very interesting in this segment here, Donnie, as you go through all the t-shirts, the designs, you know, you will get down to the bottom, tons and tons of designs, right? All the designs. There's a lot of retro stuff in here. There's a lot of retro topics in here. Right? For example, under categories, do you see that? Go, Donnie. $6 t-shirts. You go down there and there's a topic called pop culture. Pop culture. Right? Go and look at the designs. Where's the retro? I know they have a retro one. Funny t-shirts, pets and animal t-shirts, food and coffee t-shirts, music t-shirts, which will be appealing to you, politics t-shirts, partying t-shirts, sports and wellness t-shirts, holiday and costumes t-shirts, new designs t-shirts, top designs t-shirts, TV and movies t-shirts, guys t-shirts, kids t-shirts, girls t-shirts, blah, 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 blah. You're going to make money, brother. You're going to make money. Let me know how I can support you. Cool. So, low energy here. Got all my toys back. I got all set up. Wife and the team set me up downstairs. Got my microphone here. Got the other screens. Got the lights. Got the... I feel like I'm back at home with my rideshare family. I wish you an amazing, amazing Tuesday, right? Sit back for a minute. Think about maybe some fears that are creeping into your body and how you can address them. And you always have my email and my number. And everybody that knows me can always reach out to me, right? So on your way out, I ask you, don't be sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. Hit that like button. We're on 20 now. Let's get it up to at least 22. Bam, bam, bam. Hit that like button. And then do share the video because I want to inspire others. I want others to break through their fears and to do better and get more and allow themselves to grow and get rid of those fears. I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing, amazing day, everyone. Thank you. Love you all.